What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman. Now, admittedly, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, in a rumor we did not report on here at the channel, an industry insider rather ambiguously indicated something very exciting may be coming to Disney+. And then yesterday, in an update to their interface that you may not have noticed, they added a ton of icons for the X-Men, including Magneto, but none other than the representations very close to the 90s cartoon characters. Now, this wasn't a story until it became one, and from a trusted industry insider that this may be more than just an adding of icons and actually indicative of an announcement and an addition of a new X-Men franchise to Disney+. We're going to break down where this is coming from, what the report exactly said, and what it would mean for a new release or announcement, why this makes a lot of sense, especially with what's been going on recently. And what's even crazier, something we reported on here at the channel almost 4 to 6 months ago that said that this may be coming all along. We're going to break it all down, but first, if you could grab the subscribe button, we're giving away 2 PlayStation 4 Pros, as well as a whole slew of other Marvel related stuff, including a limited edition Infinity Saga box set. All you have to do to be entered to win, hit the subscribe button, then hit the notification bell, leave a like and a comment on this video, and if you want, stick around to the end of the video. We'll get into all the giveaway stuff again there. So first things first, today's report comes to us from industry insider Jeremy Conrad over at MCU Cosmic with a headline, something X-Men related is in the works over at Disney+. I'll make sure to leave a link to his blog down in the description, and as he so aptly goes on to point out, a lot of people noticed that they added the icons and even updated their own profiles, but didn't think much of it until he learned in fact that this means just a little bit more and something is definitely coming. And as he goes on to so thoroughly enumerate, there are a lot of options here, but they're pretty easy to whittle down, first of which being a New Mutants direct-to-digital release. But as that's been ruled out pretty much recently here, Disney and Marvel Studios want to release these in theatrical releases as intended. They want to recoup as much of the box office as they can, and they think that things may return to some normalcy, a sentiment echoed by Sony Studios as in not canceling Venom 2 going on as planned, and of course this same sentiment from Marvel Studios not having canceled the Eternals release. Of course, these are also icons for specifically the X-Men, not the New Mutants, and although there is crossover there, they are quite different franchises. He then goes on to say that the older Fox movies may be added for some other countries, but that's probably unlikely as some other deals have already been made. HBO already has Dark Phoenix until 2022. That would also rule out the New Mutants as well. Also, quickly, if you're wondering and you don't have Disney+, this doesn't mean that they're adding the X-Men 90s animated series. That's already on there, all 5 seasons. People like me have been binging that since Disney Plus launched. This has to mean something else, and what it could mean is something that we originally reported on almost 4 months ago, that the original team that did the animated series from the 90s was about to reapproach Marvel Studios and pitch doing a revival cartoon. And even though there was seemingly no other reports about that story, in an interesting development since then, Kevin Feige was moved to CCO, Chief Creative Officer over at Marvel, and everything was consolidated underneath him, including Marvel TV. He's also an outspoken fan of that animated series. Seriously, if you lived through the 90s and remember cartoons, unless you're too young to have remembered that, it's a huge fan favorite. It's a very likely possibility that they started to move on a project. In considering some of the more recent reports about both specifically Disney Plus, but also X-Men and Marvel Studios, their plan for the Marvel Cinematic Universe and how X-Men may play into Marvel Phase 4, there's actually a ton of evidence for this and why an announcement may in fact be right around the corner. First of which, and you may remember here real recently, Disney and Marvel Studios had originally planned a launch to coincide with the launch of Disney Plus in Europe to talk about upcoming projects. They were supposed to unveil a ton of stuff there, maybe even including a Falcon and Winter Soldier official trailer, which, quick side note, may still be coming in the pipeline in the coming weeks, depending on what Marvel Studios wants to do and how much footage they want to release. That a side note, there were still unveilings and announcements to be had, and it was reported, in lieu of them not being able to do it at that event, that they would just do so through various press outlets and their own avenues, such as Marvel Entertainment's YouTube page. Now, while we still await an official first trailer for The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, there's one other series upcoming at Disney Plus in 2021 that could be right in the same vein as sort of what we're looking at in those icons, and it's the What If series. If you take another clear look at these, they're stylized in a specific way, and if you compare them over to the style we've already seen from What If, it could be that they're giving it sort of a facelift. It's going to be an X-Men series animated in the spirit that we're used to, but not just a rehashing of the 90s cartoon that was better left in a time and place. Also, quick side note, if you do go back and watch those, it's crazy to think about how Marvel was just sort of sourcing episodes in the middle of seasons to different studios or in between seasons, and how different the cartoon can look one season to the next depending on which studio was drawing them at the time. And if you didn't know that, that's why some episodes look completely different and characters can change so much in between seasons. Now, we also know that there's other animated series that Marvel Studios has started to look into, including that MODOK series that has Patton Oswalt attached. We haven't heard much about that either, except there was that most recent report that we did cover here at the channel that Marvel Studios was developing MODOK, and it somehow got confused into him crossing over into live action. It's just now that Marvel Studios is also handling any of the ancillary TV or film properties. Basically, if it's Marvel and it's going on TV or film, it's going under Kevin Feige's control. And that brings me to my last point about the X-Men, their place in Marvel Phase 4 and Phase 5, the Marvel Cinematic Universe as a whole, and why it would make perfect sense for them to run out an animated series right now. First and foremost, Marvel has always done cartoons for the Avengers, for Spider-Man, for the X-Men. They've had Avengers cartoons even running while they've been doing the live-action cinematic universe. They've always coexisted. They use different voice actors than who they use for live action, and of course, it goes without explanation why an original medium like comics would work perfectly as a cartoon. It's not my contention to say that these can't cohabitate as they always have, but it makes perfect sense to go ahead and do the X-Men now, as they're just going to start to scratch the surface of X-Men in the MCU. Look, we already know the hierarchy of plans. As Kevin Feige said on stage, he prioritized the first family, the MCU's Fantastic Four, as making their way in as the next team. And if there are going to be some really big, huge X-Men Easter eggs, they're going to be just that, Easter eggs. We may start to meet some of the characters, we may start to learn about mutants, but we're not going to see the formation of an X-Men team for quite some time. Think about it. How many solo films and other ancillary films did it take to build out the first Avengers film? And they got to that pretty quickly. And of course, Guardians of the Galaxy started right off the bat as a team, but for the X-Men, they're going to take their time. There's too much value in solo movies like Wolverine, or building out an arc for, say, someone like Magneto, and they've already proven that they can do that for a dynamic villain. Someone like Magneto, who's going to be there for quite a while, deserves that attention. Basically, my greater point is, while they're not using the X-Men now, an animated series would make perfect sense, and especially right now, while they've had all these halts on live action production, you can easily work on this for pre-production or even production, sourcing this sort of work to graphic designers who are also now getting this work sourced to work remotely and from home. As long as they have the computing power, they really can do their job from anywhere. I don't know how long they could have been working on this project, so the likelihood of actually seeing an X-Men cartoon in any time soon is probably unlikely, but an announcement for that, maybe matching the sort of style that we're seeing in these icons, may just be the case. Guys, let me know what you think in the comments about all of this. How hype would you be for a new X-Men animated series in any form, especially something that's new and fresh and updated in the animated style? Probably pretty hype, and I think that's something that Disney and Marvel Studios are counting on, especially with what's going on with the company and worldwide. That would be such a pickup for everybody and morale. Let me know all your thoughts down below in the comments, and quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. We're still giving away 2 PlayStation 4 Pros, the next of which is at the 650,000 subscriber mark. We are headlong into that. We'll easily hit that by month's end. All you have to do to be entered to win, hit the subscribe button, then hit the notification bell, leave a like and a comment on this video, and that'll automatically enter you to win all the rest of the prizes here at the channel, like the limited edition Infinity Saga box set. We gave the first one away on New Year's Eve. We'll be giving the second one away on the second anniversary of the channel just at the end of this month. We're headlong into this prize as well. If you want to be entered to win either of the PlayStations, the limited edition Infinity Saga box set, or any of the other prizes we'll be giving away here at the channel as we double down, hopefully over the next 2 years, all the way up to 1 million, all the same rules will always apply. Hit the subscribe button, then hit the notification bell, leave a like and a comment on this video, and because it's truly random, the more videos you like and comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will be announced at the end of videos, and if you've missed any of those announcements, no worries. All you have to do, scroll back through the channel, look for the winner announcement in the sub count in the title, click on that video and scroll to the end. My name's Michael Roman, this is Everything Always. Guys, thanks so much for checking out the channel, and stick around, we'll be posting again real soon.